Welcome to the Enchanted Lighthouse, where every week magical stories and new adventures await. Join our group of 7 wonderful animal friends as they bring tales about friendship, mystery, and wonder to life. From unexpected guests to heartfelt conversations under the moonlit sky, each story holds a gentle truth. We are so glad that you are here. Now let us begin. Seppi and Zoe go on a cruise. The ticket made of gold paper. The morning the cruise began, the lighthouse buzzed with a soft kind of excitement. Zoe stood at the big wooden table, carefully folding a golden piece of paper back into its envelope. The letters shimmered faintly in the light. Winner of the Grand Baking Contest, it read. 1 cruise for 2. Seppi bounced in tight circles around her. "I still can't believe you won a cruise," he said. "And I really can't believe you picked me." Zoe smiled, slow and warm. "You listen when I talk," she said. "And you notice things. That makes traveling nicer." Theo helped adjust Seppi's small travel bag. Hazel tucked in a bundle of snacks, just in case. Olivia slipped a feather into Zoe's pocket. Lumi traced the stars on a small map of the sea. "Remember," Theo said softly, "adventures are wonderful. But we will be right here when you come back." Seppi's grin wobbled just a little. "We will miss you," he said. With one last group hug, they headed down the path toward the harbor at Aurora's watch, where a gentle white cruise ship waited, rocking patiently against the dock. Life aboard the floating home. The ship moved slowly at first, then steadily, carrying them away from the lighthouse. Seppi leaned over the railing, flippers gripping tight, as the water stretched endlessly below. "It's like the ocean is following us," he laughed. Zoe preferred the quieter corners. A sunny chair on the deck, the rhythm of footsteps in the hallway, the gentle clink of dishes during dinner. Each evening, they ate in a softly lit dining room. Lanterns glowed above the tables, and the air smelled of warm bread and citrus tea. They met other passengers too. A shy hedgehog couple who traveled everywhere with matching scarves. A pelican who collected sea stories instead of souvenirs. And a cat who painted the ocean only at night. Seppi talked to everyone. Zoe listened to everyone. At night, when the ship hummed and the waves tapped gently against the hull, they lay in their small cabin and stared at the ceiling. "I wonder what everyone's doing back home," Seppi said quietly. Zoe nodded. "I miss the lighthouse light," she admitted. "It feels like being tucked in." The Cherry Tree Laguna. Their first stop was the Cherry Tree Laguna. Petals drifted through the air like soft snow, floating down onto pink beaches and calm water. Trees leaned gently toward the shore, heavy with blossoms. Zoe moved slowly beneath the branches, breathing deeply. "It smells like spring thinking about staying," she said. Seppi raced along the shoreline, petals sticking to his whiskers. "I wish Hazel could see this," he called. "She would collect every single one." They sat together beneath a cherry tree, sharing fruit and watching reflections ripple in the water. It was beautiful, peaceful, and yet, when the ship's horn sounded, both of them felt a small tug in their chests. "It's strange," Seppi said as they boarded again. "I love this, but I also want to tell everyone about it." Zoe smiled. "Some things feel unfinished until you share them." Dreamtide Bay. At Dreamtide Bay, the sea shimmered in shades of blue and silver, like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. The water here seemed to hum softly, as if dreams floated just beneath the surface. Seppi swam in gentle circles near the shore, laughing. "It feels like the water knows me." Zoe sat on the dock with her paws in the water, watching fish glide past. That evening, as the ship pulled away, Zoe baked small honey biscuits in the ship's kitchen, sharing them with other passengers. "They remind me of home," one traveler said. Zoe paused, then smiled. "They remind me too." Starlit Haven. The final stop of the journey was Starlit Haven. Night fell early there, and the sky opened wide with stars, more than Seppi had ever seen. They stood on the deck wrapped in blankets, watching constellations spill across the dark. Seppi pointed excitedly. "That one looks like Theo." "And that one," Zoe said softly, "feels like Lumi would like it." The stars were breathtaking, but for the first time neither of them wished to stay longer. "I think I am ready to go home," Seppi said. Zoe nodded. "Me too." Coming back to the light. When the cruise ship finally rounded the familiar curve of the shore, the lighthouse beam was already glowing, slow, steady, and unmistakable. Seppi spotted it first. "There!" he cried, pressing his flippers to the railing. "They left the light on!" Zoe felt something warm settle in her chest. The journey had been gentle and full, but the sight of that light, patient, waiting, made her shoulders relax in a way she hadn't realized they were tense. As soon as the ship docked at Aurora's watch, the friends were there. Theo stood at the front, glowing softly against the dusk. Hazel bounced on her toes, barely containing herself. Lumi waved with her flipper. Olivia smiled and watched quietly, wings tucked close. Milo leaned against the railing, pretending not to be excited. Seppi didn't even wait for the gangplank to settle before launching himself forward. "There were cherry petals everywhere," he exclaimed breathlessly. "And water that felt like dreams. And stars, so many stars, you wouldn't believe it." Hazel laughed. "You're talking too fast." Zoe stepped forward more slowly, setting down a small wooden box she had carried the entire way home. Inside were pressed cherry blossoms, handwritten recipes, sketches of the sea, and tiny notes she had written each night. "I missed you," she said simply. They gathered around the table as the kettle warmed and the fire crackled. Seppi recounted stories from the journey with excitement and exaggerated spins. Zoe passed around biscuits she had baked on the ship, each one labeled with where it had been made. The room filled with laughter, crumbs, questions, and quiet listening. The journey had been wonderful. The stories were precious. But being back, together, felt like the final perfect piece. The lighthouse beam swept across the sea once more, steady and bright. And this time, everyone was home. Every story has something to teach us. What did we learn today? We have learned that adventure helps us grow, but sharing it makes it complete. New places can be beautiful, but home is where our stories are understood, remembered, and warmly welcomed back. Thank you for stopping by here today. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like and don't forget to come back next week for a brand new adventurous story. Want to learn more about the magical tenants who live here? Visit enchantedlighthouse.com for a mystical map, creative artwork, and a few special gifts. Until then, be kind and share your light. See you next time.